Welcome back to the Dominate the Deal podcast, where we teach you how to get more deals, get better deals, and most importantly, how to control deals with structures that allow you to exit with more profit and on your timeline. Today, I'm joined by my good friend Robert Nichols, who went from being a janitor making $10 an hour to earning $250,000 his first year wholesaling. Robert, how's it going, man?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
Pretty
What's up?
good, man. Pretty good. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, glad to be here, man. Of course, we probably known each other like I think over 5 years now at this point. So, man, I'm
Yeah,
happy with you.
almost 10, I think. Because I
Wow.
remember when you were on the calls with Jay, and that was like 7 or 8 years ago, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Wow, is this crazy? You remember this?
Yeah. I think I remember, yeah, because there was this new guy, and everybody was like, man, this guy is killing it. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Man.
tell me, well, just for everybody else, tell us about your background and how you got started in real estate and what caused you to jump into all that.
Yeah. Well, hey, again, man, I'm glad to be here. Not just with real estate, but man, you're a brother to me. So, man, I'm happy to do this. But got started in real estate a little over 7 years ago. So the end of 2018. Just man, was just in a really bad place in life. I'm just trying to figure out, man, Lord, what do you want me to do? Of course, you know, me and my wife, we are believers. And I was just at this conference, and I was like, man, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, I had this call to ministry, but I also felt like I was called to do business as well. And man, I just felt God tell me, man, you're going to do both. And so I left my job before working and cleaning. I was working a small sales job. And so I left my job, man. I told my wife, and I thought she was going to tell me I was crazy. But man, she didn't tell me I was crazy. So I was like, hey, if my wife didn't tell me I was crazy, I must be hearing clearly. So left my job, and just over a few months, just didn't know what I was doing, and ended up having to pick up that cleaning job with one of my friends out there in Jackson. And while I was cleaning, man, I was just praying and told God, man, I feel a pull toward real estate, but I don't want to be a realtor. No disrespect to realtors. I think realtors are great people, I promise. But I personally did not want to be a realtor because they work on Sundays. You know, with what I'm called to do, I have to be available on Sundays to serve at church. So I said, hey, I want to be in real estate, but I don't want to be a realtor. And I want to be able to make a lot of money while still being able to give a lot of time to my family. And man, I saw this guy on YouTube, the famous Max Maxwell.
There we
The,
go.
yes, sir. And that guy said, and he just started documenting his process. I saw an old video of him. Gary Vee told him to just document his process. So he was on YouTube, and he was like, "Hey, you're going to see me go from 20,000 a month to 100,000 a month." And I said, "Man, this is crazy. First of all, $20,000 a month. I could have stopped right there where we're from." Hit 20 to 100,000. And man, that's what got me started, man. Just a prayer and divine intervention of a YouTube video of a great guy that got a lot of people started in the business, Max Maxwell. So that's how I ended up here
Good
today.
stuff, man. Good stuff. So, how did you go from, so you had the idea
hmm
and then you decided you were going to do it, and then what was that process like? Did you get a
Yeah.
coach? Did you go to a real estate investor meetup?
Yeah.
Did you follow a tutorial on YouTube? Like, what did you do next?
Yeah. So I always tell people, man, just I believe in coaching, but just me personally, I didn't let that hold me. We didn't have the money for me to get a coach.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, definitely get a coach. If you can afford to get a coach, get a coach. You're going to shortcut your time. I mean, by a tenth of the time. But I personally couldn't afford a coach. So what I did was just watch YouTube videos, and I actually typed in Google Jackson, Mississippi wholesaling just to try to get some proximity of anybody that is doing this business where we're from. And the first guy who popped up was Theo Davis.
Oh,
And me,
wow. Nice.
Theo. And
Another pastor. Yeah.
exactly. Crazy. So, and I didn't know he was a pastor, but man, he was on a podcast with, I think it was Tom Crow podcast. I think that he got coached by him, and they were just talking about how he went from making nothing to doing over $250,000 his first month. So I just watched Max Maxwell, and what I did was brainwash myself with Theo Davis's podcast. I listened to that thing 1,000 times, man,
Nice.
over and over and over. And everything he said to do, I just did it. If he said, go pull a list, mail this list, I just went to my wife and said, hey, babe, I need $280 to go pull this list and mail this list. So I always tell people that's how I got started in the business. And I think it's a testament to just taking what Tom Crow says, massive and perfect action.
No doubt.
Couldn't afford a coach, but I made my own coach through Max Maxwell and Theo Davis. And I did exactly what they said. So that's how I got started, man.
That's awesome, man. So go from that to your first year doing 250K. Like in this business, things have changed a lot in the last 7 years, right? You got
Yeah.
tactics and then you got strategies. And the strategies, they last forever, but the
Yeah.
tactics, they're here
Yeah.
and gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know when you first started, a big thing was like ringless voicemail, right?
Man, and a killing off those
I
things.
know, right? Yeah, gone are the days, man.
Yes.
But so I would call that a tactic, and
Yeah.
then strategy, would be something that outlives all of those things. So what
Right.
would you say? I mean, there's no wrong answer, but if there is one strategy, one thing that all the newbies should keep in mind,
Mhm.
what would you say that strategy would be? That
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah. So I'll say this, just me personally, and again, Jesse, you know this about me. I always have to incorporate my belief system in business. I am a follower of Christ. I try not to, hey, if you're not, I have nothing to do with that. I can only voice what's worked for me.
right.
And the strategy that's worked for me is because, like you said, ringless voicemails were hot. Man, I made a great money off of that. Then that started getting watered down. A lot of people got into that, using that. And then it also got illegal. So I had to pivot to cold calling. Then that started getting harder. Then you started focusing on doing direct mail. Then that got expensive. But like you said, the tactics that goes and comes, but the strategy. And I believe, man, with my belief system,
Mm,
I always work to outserve everybody in the market.
there you go.
So the person I followed, Jesus Christ, said, man, he was sent to not he was sent to serve, not to
Right.
be.
No
So
doubt.
implement that kingdom principle in our business. That strategy is timeless. If I always lead with service, every seller, I know that, hey, I'm going to always have to pivot my tactics, but my strategy of out serving everybody who's trying to go after the same deal as me, man, I'm always going to win. Like that deal that I did with you, man, that was a crazy deal.
Man, talk about ups and downs, but it worked out, didn't it?
Yeah, it worked out. It
Yeah.
worked out. But again, what she told me after we closed, again, you were the buyer on that deal. What she told me was, Robert, thank you for not giving up on me. A lot of people would have given up on me because she was scared. She thought it was a scam. She didn't know who I was. She's just been done so wrong. But
Yeah.
I always kept this mindset that, man, I'm going to serve this person. I'm going to outserve everybody in this market because most people would have given up on that deal. And that's where I come in. So that's the strategy I do, man. Not trying to be long winded, but
No, that's awesome, man. I mean, I think about that a lot, because Jesus did say that if you want to be the greatest, you'll be their servant, and I mean that's how it is. So if that's what you got to do. If you want to be great, it's not going to be by stepping on everybody's heads. It's going to be
exactly,
by lifting everybody up. I think,
exactly,
unfortunately, in this culture and this day, it's that's not understood, and
right,
so
right,
sometimes you do have to kind of change your circles because
yes,
you know you
yes,
you end up finding yourself around certain people that they might be trying to pull you down. You want to lift them up, but you
yes,
can't. So you got to go
exactly.
around.
Got some stories about that too, man. We can talk about that all day, but
Yeah.
yeah, man. Tactics change forever, but strategy, to me, what I look at strategy is principles.
Yeah.
Principles are fundamental. They last a lifetime. So,
No
yeah,
doubt. No
it's
doubt. Well, how about this craziest deal? Tell me
crazy.
about that.
Deal.
Craziest deal.
Man, the craziest deal. And it was another one that everybody told me to walk away from.
Did it work out for you?
Yeah, it worked out. It worked out really well. And you know what I mean by that too. It
Yep.
worked out really well. So it was a deal. I reached out to this lady. It was in Brandon, Mississippi, in that reservoir area, right?
Okay.
of course, you're very familiar with this, but everybody who's not from here, the reservoir area is really bad with foundation issues. So I'm already like, man, I got to get this at a really deep discount, but I don't want her to think that I'm just trying to, take advantage of her. But man, as soon as I reached out to her, she was so open to talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to do business with you, Robert. You're so sweet. I mean, I really want to sell this house. But her daughter lived in the house. And those are always the craziest deals, man, with the family members in the house. But I love those deals because those are going to be your best deals every
Yeah.
time. If you have a crazy
Nobody else
daughter,
can deal with them, right? If
exactly.
you're willing to filter through all the mess, then you
Ex-
get the profit.
Exactly. As soon as I hear, well, my son is living in the house or my daughter's living in the house, I'm like, oh, thank you, God. So, because I know most people don't want to deal with this situation. So, she told the daughter that I'm going to buy the house. And of course, she's been used to living here for free for 10 years plus. And so I'm like the big bad boogeyman coming to, rain on their parade. And what they did to make the mom not sell the house is they admitted her into a crazy house, man. They literally called people on her and made it seem like their mother was losing their mind.
No way.
Was literally taken to a mental institution for a couple of months.
Wow.
And then they were on my Facebook page, spamming my business page. Oh, this guy's taking advantage of older people. This guy's trying to kick out people out of the house. So I'm deleting comments. And but I didn't know what was going on with the lady. So a couple months later, she calls me and she was like, "Hey, Robin, I'm ready to sell the house." I'm like, "Where have you been?" So she told me they admitted her into a mental institution. I was like, man, this is insane. But she signed the paperwork. I had to sweet talk the daughters that was in there. Of course, had to help them relocate, give them time
Mhm.
to relocate. And man, that ended up being like a $25,000 deal.
Wow, man.
And that is a big deal in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
That is
not getting a lot of $25,000 assignments
no,
out here.
no, sir, not assignments. You have to turnkey it or flip
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but an assignment, most people are getting just a few $1,000s. So that was the craziest deal because I'm like, man, people will go to the ends of the earth to not leave a house. It's crazy, man.
Yeah,
It's
no
crazy.
doubt, man. No doubt. So, but when you touched on something that I think we run into a lot too, even though it sounds like this lady was she was ready and she was
Mhm.
willing, but a lot of times you do get in those situations where the house, let's just say the foundation is completely just
Yeah,
ruined, right? But the seller, they're trying to get you to pay retail for the house.
right, right.
So, what do you have any advice for newbies getting started when somebody throws out a high number?
Yeah.
Um, I'm sure you've talked them way down. What's your advice for negotiating with those types of sellers in those types of situations?
Yeah. So I'll say, especially when you're new, you're so anxious to make a deal. Um, like most of these people I know, especially if they're new, 9 times out of 10, and I'm sure you've heard this before, Jesse, it's not going to be the right numbers
Right,
every time.
right,
They just want to make a deal so bad. But you have to understand that, hey, you are trying to serve these people.
right,
You're not serving people by putting a house under contract that is not going to actually close. You're serving with the service of speed, convenience, and certainty.
right.
And we're following through with that last part, which is certainty. We're not serving these people. So what I would suggest is, again, don't be so anxious to make a deal out of something that's not going to be a deal. And also learn the market that you're in, and also learn how to just stick to the number that you need to be at.
Hmm.
And what the seller says, understand that, hey, this is not going to be a good fit. And I always tell people that, hey, like if I'm talking to you, man, Jesse, it really doesn't sound like it's going to be a good fit, man. Just give me a call back if this ever does make sense. And 9 times out of 10, those people always tend to come back every
Exactly.
time, man, because everybody else is going to waste their time
Yeah.
and not perform. So I would say leave, try to actually leave with service, which is closing the deal. And the only way this can close is if the numbers are right. And if they're asking an unrealistic number, understand that this is going to be a deal 90 days from now. I literally tell myself, well, hey, Lord,
Yeah.
I'm expecting this deal in 90 days. Obviously, I need this deal in 90 days. That's how
Exactly.
it is.
Exactly. Yeah. The most powerful words, well, most powerful word is no for sure when it comes to
Yes.
negotiation. And then, and like you said, you're not doing them any favors by locking it up at 250 when you
Mhm.
know that nobody's going to pay that or pay more than that.
Right.
So if you do go ahead and stick to your guns and lock it up where it should be at 125 or whatever,
Right.
then you know that it's going to be such a good deal that you can make some money.
Right.
The end buyer can make money, and this person that needs cash right now, even though they're not going to make a fortune off their house, they're also going to get out of their situation.
Right.
So truly, it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win for the seller, for the end buyer, for you. That's what I love about this business, man.
Yeah.
You can,
Exactly.
everybody wins. Everybody that needs to win wins.
Yeah.
Now, the greedy, they might not win every time,
Yeah.
but
They don't win.
yeah,
Definitely.
no doubt.
Eh, Like I said, man, certainty. I know I can go to sleep at night knowing that, hey, we're going to be able to perform on this deal. Of course, you're going to have deals fall apart, but title issues and sometimes you still get it too high, even though you felt like you got it low enough. But I know in my soul, I know consciously that I did attempt to lead with certainty
Yeah.
that I felt that this could perform at. So, yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, good deal. Well, I know you're still wholesaling a
Mhm.
lot, but you also do coaching. Is that right?
Yeah, man. So just gonna get started with that. Just on a more of a consultation basis. Just people can reach out to me just an hour at a time if they need any advice or what they need to do. Of course, down the line, I plan on doing a full coaching. But right now, with us still scaling our business, we do it on a more consultative approach
I
right now.
got you. Just
Yeah,
one-offs, and
yeah.
that makes a lot of sense, man. So, and probably it'll make you a little more accessible
Mhm.
because you're not going to be charging like crazy exorbitant fees.
Exactly.
So, you know,
Exactly.
that's awesome. Well, if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, just reach out to me through Facebook. I'm a really chill guy, man. I love helping people. Um, I've helped probably 5 people so far close their first deal. Um, I mean, it didn't take long at all. So yeah, just reach out to me, Robert Nichols on Facebook, Instagram, Robert Nichols 3, RobertNichols, the number 3 on
Okay.
Instagram. So yeah, just reach out to me again. I'll help you any way I can.
Cool. And do you have a problem with me putting that like in the description?
Definitely not. We're boys, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
no doubt. All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you being on the show. Hopefully, we can do this again.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Jesse.
All right, man. We'll talk soon.